Interesting note there from the chief. The ocean will still be there Sunday. You don't have to go out and see it in the middle of the storm. Dana joins us with all the details. Hi, Dana.
Hi, Brian and Amanda, and that's very good advice. The ocean will still be there, but we have a very impactful storm coming through on Saturday, so we're going to focus a lot on that today. Right now, though, it's kind of the calm before the storm out there. It was a little bit warm, plenty of sunshine out there today, but things tonight are going to change. So right after dinner time is when we're going to start to have those clouds ahead of the storm start to increase from southern Maine up into northern Maine over the next couple of hours. And now once the precipitation starts to move in, this is around 2 a.m. on Saturday, we're going to start along the coastline, most likely with just rain. Could see a little bit of wintry mix depending on the temperature, but we'll probably start there with just some rain. And just like with the last system that we saw, we're just going to be watching that rain-snow line go progressively more north as we go later into the day. So this is Saturday at 8 a.m. The rain-snow line is right about the Lewiston and Augusta area. And now north of the rain-snow line is going to be very heavy snow and very heavy rain south of the rain-snow line. So this is very, very similar to the storm that we just had, where we're watching for heavy snow and heavy rain and watching that transition from snow to rain occur throughout the day. So by the time we get to Saturday, this is at 11 a.m. the rain-snow line has pushed up into the Bangor area, but we still are seeing some heavy snow into down eastern Maine, but most of the heavy rain is in most of the southern areas at this point. Now, most of us are going to see this transition from snow into rain, with the exception of the highest mountain peaks. They'll probably remain as snow for the entirety of this system and therefore not see any of that transition to rain. But by 2 p.m. we're starting to see some of the clearing. We start to see some of the heavier rain become some lighter showers. And by the time we get to late in the day, we could even see some clearing in terms of cloud cover as we get into western Maine and into New Hampshire as well. However, in northern and eastern Maine, still seeing heavy rain and some heavy snow along the Canadian border as well. So this is going to still be a very impactful storm. I'll keep saying it because it's true, very similar to the one that we just saw, but it's another quick moving system, whereas the last one we saw mostly overnight. This one is going to be mostly during the day on Saturday, but by the time we get to Saturday at around 10 p.m. things have really started clearing out, and then Sunday it'll be breezy but not windy, and just a couple of snow showers coming through late in the day on Sunday. So here is our snow map. It's kind of similar to the last time, where if you're in the blue colors here, maybe with the exception of far northern Maine, you'll gain that snow, but then once we change over to rain, you're going to lose that snow. It's going to melt and wash away. Except if you're in the 6 to 10 in that purple color up in the mountains, you'll probably see a net gain of snow, but for the rest of us, it'll kind of be just a slushy mess to some more rain. Now, something we were talking about with this system is that it's not quite as much precipitation as we saw last time. So we're looking at about an inch of precip in total, as opposed to almost 2 inches of precip last time. So inland flooding is a bit less of a concern here, except in flood-prone areas, which could see some more flooding from this storm. But once again, we have that southeast wind, so we're going to have more issues with power outages. This storm, once again, a little bit weaker, with gusts as high as 50 to 55 miles per hour, as opposed to last time it was kind of 60 to 65 miles per hour. But still going to see some power outages from this for sure. Late in the day on Saturday, though, the winds are going to probably peak in the early morning to afternoon, and then late in the day become more breezy. So we have those high wind watches and warnings issued by the National Weather Service. The big ticket item here, though, is going to be that coastal flood threat. This is for Portland here, looking at flooding as high into the moderate to major areas, could even break some records all along the coast here. So while inland flooding and power outages are going to be a little bit less in terms of this storm, coastal flooding is a major issue that we're going to see. The National Weather Service has issued a coastal flood warning for the entirety of the coastline. So here are some storm headlines to just kind of summarize everything up. The main issue here is once again going to be that historic coastal flooding, a marginally weaker storm overall, but those impacts are still going to be very high. So we got that storm warning in effect. So Brian and Amanda, we have another big storm coming through, so it's going to be very impactful in a lot of things. So you just want to be weather aware as we go over the next few hours.
Absolutely. All right, Dana, thank you.